Or can just text me there. Actually, they can just text me. All right, so anyway, let's start, okay? So good afternoon, Singapore. Very good. Okay, good morning, Bangalore.
Good morning.
I hear them scream. Wow, okay. Now, good morning, good afternoon, China. Okay, I believe they can hear as well. All right. Now, thank you very much, everyone, for coming to this program. This is definitely a wonderful program, APEC mentoring program. And you see another lady with me. Can you spot her? She's tall enough to be spotted. Definitely. That's Janet Tinkler. Okay, she's the lead of this program, and she's going to share with you some of the overview of this program itself. Okay, now I really love to see the turnout here, especially in Singapore. At least I can see you. I can't see Bangalore in China. It's wonderful. It's definitely a very much improvement from what we saw the 2 years back, actually. So that's wonderful. Now this shows all of you believe that mentoring helps in development. Do you all believe in that? Yes, wonderful. And that's the reason why you're here, because it's not mandatory, it's voluntary. And if you have some interest in development, and that's the reason why you are here. I could see a lot of nods. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. Now, without delay, and I know we started late, without delay, I'm going to just show you some of the things, and then, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Janet. Oh yeah, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Rokia. All of you know me, right? Not everyone not, actually. Right. You all know me? Now you know me. It's easy to remember, okay? I only say that, oh, someone has freezed the... Okay, that's me. That's my name. Easy to remember. Okay, for any questions for Singapore side, if you have regarding the mentor program, come to me. Sounds like Nokia. Take out the N, put the R. That's Nokia. All right. Okay, so what we're going to go through now is the agenda. Then I pass it over to my colleague. Okay. So yeah, I just mentioned that. Welcome. Thank you so much for the kickoff event. So we have Soyun, VP of Technology and Integration, as the keynote speaker. She's here. Okay, I'll hand over my mic to her in a short while. And then, of course, Janet Tinkler. I can introduce her, and she'll be introducing herself as well. Okay, she's the lead for the mentoring program. Okay, now this is the agenda. That's me. I'm doing the welcoming now and introduction, and then I will, like what I said, I'll give it over to Soyun to do the opening statement for all of you, and then Janet Tinkler will do the overview of mentoring program, and then comes to me. I talk about the logistic and how do you make sure, what are the expectations of mentors and mentees. That's really important, and what are some of the tips that you can get from us and from the system. We use a very good system where it helps you to make a mentoring relationship really successful. Okay, previously we don't have a system, and that's the improvement this time, right? And then of course Q&A. Okay, so without delay, can I ask Soyun to do the opening statement to... Thank you.
So do I go to the slide?
Yeah, you can just press the button. Okay, all right.
So everybody knows me? So everybody knows me by Soyun. There are some call me by Dr. Yun, Dr. So, Dr. Xia. So the right one is actually Dr. Xia. Xia is my last name, but I would prefer all of you to call me Soyun. Right? Okay. Right. So first of all, before I go into this, I don't want to go too formal into this. I seriously welcome and congratulate all of you to be here. And as I know this is a voluntary programs, and I'm really happy that we see so many of you around here. And why we believe in mentoring, it's very important because it actually engage the newcomers and even juniors, mentees, and brings them into our cultures and our company. So actually also it provides a very in-person, professional interactions between the mentor and the mentee for their growth, whether it is in technical side for their technical growth, skill growth, or their personal growth. So we believe that this program will provide a lot more support for mentees to provide them a very strong support as a starting point for their career and development. So And not only that, it also provides a lot of network connections through your mentors, through your mentees. The mentor and the mentees get to know the different functional areas where he and she is working on. And this also builds a lot of network and promotes interdepartmental or cross-functional teams interaction, which is good for the company. Not the least also that we found that by having a mentorship, actually the mentees get to know how to access to the company resources. This is very important. This company is very big. We have like now 18,000 people, and we have so many departments, and we're distributed across a group with so many sites. Being able to know someone who can guide you to the right people, use the right approach to solve a problem and get a solution is very important. And this can be very resourceful approach. So there's many benefits. I probably cover some of this. So what are the benefits? I think I spoke most of it for the benefits for the mentees just now. Mentors. So for the mentors, it's also very important for you to be able to interact with the mentees. And more importantly, it is an opportunity for you to give back to the company what you learned, what you know, and be able to share with your mentees and grow them. Okay, so besides that, actually, it also develop your own coaching skills, which is a very vital part of leadership development. I can't emphasize less about leadership development that requires the skills of mentoring. So this is a good opportunity for mentors to be able to develop their skills even better. And also not forgetting about it. So I hope in the future you have a chance stand up like me standing here and be able to share your experience. So those are the skills that you can develop through this kind of mentoring as well, right? And seeing your mentee growing up and be able to achieve something is also another way of satisfaction for mentors. And not only that, it also expands your perspective across the company, not only in your own group, in your functional area, but across department, across functional teams. So, and probably some of them are matched actually different regions. So I think that also across different cultural diversity, I really like that. So speaking of that, actually, let me share a little bit of experience. When I first, there was one time I was posted to US. I was working in Lucerne. Actually, it's in US, right? Singapore is a very localized Asian country. When I joined Lucerne for the Joint Development Program, they actually assigned a mentor for me. Even though I was just an assignee, a short-term, not quite short-term, but probably 1.5 years assignee. So they actually assigned a mentor for me to coach me and actually tell me what are the cultural differences. And more importantly, what's important was the way you approach people in the different countries, different cultural backgrounds to ask for help may be different. Right. So in Singapore, when we go forth and ask for help, we tends to be probably a bit direct. In certain countries, the way you ask and approach for a problem and a help could be different. So this actually impressed me a lot, that how a company like Lucerne is putting a lot of emphasis on mentorship, bringing people on board and be more effective at their workplace. Right. So this is just one example. And for the mentees, of course, I mentioned about it, you get a lot of support through to counseling from the mentors about how you get started in a new place or a new career, a new job scope. So besides that, you also get to interact with people that you should know. And the mentor hopefully will link you up to the right group, the right functional team where you should work with to get the problem solved or to get the help. talking about this. When I first joined this company, I was very, very new. I do not understand, even despite I was in technology development, I do not know what is process module, what is integrations, and what's the difference of integrations with product engineering and test engineering. As graduates coming into the company, to me, I thought technology development is to do everything. So, but I got a very good mentor. He kind of guide you through and knowing that and telling you what exactly your scope is. And I was talking to this gentleman. He was asking me what's the difference between PLM and technology development. The difference in the job scopes. So these are examples where how the mentor could guide you very well, and how the mentees can get to know very well about what are the functional roles of different functional teams, and really get to the right group for the right help. So this is one of an aspect of it, and also you will have a lot of opportunities to learn, because you're not just learning through yourself in your group supervisor, but you also learn whichever areas, functional areas they are involved, you get to learn as well. So it exposes you to a broader kind of experience than your own care areas, right? So this is a way to broaden your perspective and experience in the company. Having said that, you also develop your own leadership skills, of course. I mean, you work with the mentors, you learn a bit of how your mentors guide you, and therefore you learn the skill how you guide your next generation's mentees. Okay, we hope those mentees will, in the future, will become mentors themselves, because they personally have gone through and they know the benefits of being mentor, so they will be able to give this mentor, I won't say service, but experience to the next group of new hires or mentees. Okay. And lastly, I hope you gain a lot through this mentorship and your self-satisfaction as well, that through this journey, and we'll make full use of this program. And I really appreciate Janet to set up this program, and Rokia as well, to bring everybody closer together. Yep. So with that, I think I will give it back to Rokia and Janet, so you guys can kickstart the programs.
Thank you so much. Okay, so who's next? Thank you, everyone. I think we should give her a louder. It's really inspiring. Thanks for sharing your story as well. It was really inspiring. Okay, I'm going to pass over to Janet now. She's going to give you the overview of the mentor program, and the rest I'll leave it to her. And let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah. You got the clicker? Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here and to see the large turnout. And I know we also have all of you in Bangalore and in Shanghai as well. So, and thank you, So-Yoon. That was very, very helpful. When we've talked about mentoring, I know in the US, we were saying that as you move along in your career, there's going to be a time where you're a mentee, but there's also going to be a time when you're developing someone else. So as you look forward, you're also bringing someone along with you as well. So hopefully, wherever you may be in your career right now, you'll be able to apply that going forward. I want to tell you about where we were in the program, where we're going. The fact that all of you have profiles, you know a little bit about the MentorClick system, but I just wanted to explain it a little bit better. And we also have a video, thank you, from Sanjay discussing the program that will also be available on Global Connect. So as Rokia mentioned, in 2016, we had a pilot program. We used Google Forms. We did it all manually. I'm just curious, how many people in the room here participated in the program in 2016? Okay, just one. All right. Oh, and Rokia too. So it's good to see that we've expanded further. So overall, company-wide, we had about 360 participants. And given the size of our company, that's not a huge population. But we got some positive feedback, and we decided, okay, there's a need for it, but it's not really sustainable to do this kind of manual spreadsheet matching. So what a lot of other companies do is they use software platforms, and believe it or not, there's quite a few available out there. We evaluated different systems. We ended up selecting MentorClick. And that's the system we have now. So it gives you a way to catalog all of your mentors and mentees. It also does algorithmic matching or smart matching. So there's a number of different factors that you can weight. And it does a multivariate regression analysis to try to satisfy all the different conditions and then give you a smart match. And so hopefully now that you guys, for the ones that have already been matched, you'll see you should mesh with your mentor or mentee based on personality and some other things that you gave in the profile. So that's globally scalable, and it uses a single sign-on. So you need to be on the GF network. It recognizes you as an employee. So right now we're doing all of the matching in Q1 here at the worldwide locations. And for people that have not enrolled, or if anyone asks you about it, you can request an invitation either as a mentor or a mentee by emailing globalfoundries@mentorclick.com. So we're going to go to the Sanjay video. I don't know if, do you have it ready? You said it's embedded. What do I do? Oh, I see. Okay. The volume on? The sound? Yeah. Harvard. Really? Oh, okay. So we've had enough technical difficulties today. So the MentorClick software went live in the GF systems on November 1st. As I mentioned, you have to, it connects you through single sign-on. It recognizes you. It gets regular updates from PeopleSoft, so it'll know what department you're in, who your manager is, and that'll get updated. So if you move to a new role, you won't have a profile that's incorrect on the system. It's a voluntary program, so you end up clicking an agreement that you want to participate, and you can also link it to your LinkedIn profile. And I know some of you have done this, maybe some of you have not, but that's nice that you don't have to maintain a profile in two places. You can just update your LinkedIn profile and then it will be available on the MentorClick site. So this is a sample mentor invitation, but there's a similar one for mentees. So basically the invite is customized. So when you get it, you receive the link, you go in, and then you do your profile setup. So all of you should have received this either as a mentor or mentee. When you go in, you take this visual personality test, which I know it's a little hokey, but they have pictures, and you pick, whether you like to work in groups or alone, and what some of your preferences are, and this helps with that algorithmic matching I was telling you about. You also pick different business competencies, such as, say, emotional intelligence, communication, strategic thinking, and we also have technical competence. We have quite a few categories. I know I've had people write me, for categories that probably could be expanded or were missing. So if you do see something missing, we can add additional categories. We don't want the list to get too long, though. So we know that not every specialty is going to be highlighted there. But the nice thing is as you have all these different mentors and mentees get enrolled in the program, you really are kind of cataloging where are all your people, how many people do you have have that are lithography experts, or how many people are in design enablement, and you can see what levels and what areas they're available in. So it's a good way to learn the company. When the mentees go in, they have the ability to scroll through the mentors, and they can filter on maybe a job level, a location, a technical competency, or a particular department. And you have the ability to suggest matches. So you can suggest up to 3 matches when you're a mentee, and then when it goes through and does the smart match, it tries to satisfy that and give you at least one of your suggested matches. And so this is what I was talking about, where you can see what people's experiences are in, and that can be very powerful in knowing where your technical experts are in the company. So when we do this smart matching, as I said, it factors in your personality assessment, also location. So for right now, we're matching all of US with US, all of APAC with APAC, and then Europe with Europe. Later on, as we get more used to this program, I would really like to see us match across all the sites, not have these divisions. I think the reality with the time difference is really more of the concern. But I have had people write me and say, I have a mentor in the US. I know, for example, Rokia has one in the US. So we will go in and manually match people sometimes across time zones. But it has those kinds of rules. Also, when you go in and say that you want to improve in a certain business competency or learn about a certain technical competency, it factors that in. And then again, if you have any suggested matches, it tries to satisfy at least one of the 3 suggestions. And so it factors that all in, and it gives you a matching score. And, typically you want something at least 60% or higher. So the system will say, these people meet that criteria, and then you can decide if that's the person that you want, or in this case, you were matched by the system using Smart Match.
Clarification.
Yes.
We also consider age and gender, nationality factors.
We don't in the algorithm, but when you're doing the filtering and making your suggestions, when we don't have age, obviously, but we have gender on there. So if somebody does want a particular gender, they can select that. But we don't have it in the Smart Match algorithm. Okay, so I just want to tell you on the system itself, there's a resource library, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it gives you tip sheets, short tip sheets that you can read before meeting with your mentor or your mentee. There's short videos that give, 2-3 minute videos that give you some input to prepare yourself for the meetings. We also have something called a mentoring partnership agreement. So when you first meet with your mentor or mentee, you can actually write down and make some goals. And Rokia will talk more about that. But all of this, again, is available on the software, so it's very powerful to have it all there. So just to tell you a little bit about the number of mentors and mentees we have in APAC region, this year we have 223 participants, which is a big improvement over last year where we only had 91. You can see we have more mentees than mentors, so we are trying to rally and get more mentors. In fact, for those of you who are managers, you can encourage your employees to be mentors. We are pairing across all of the APAC sites, but as I mentioned, we have some people that are matching, across with US or with Europe. And we do have right now 74 mentees that were not matched, but our goal, like Rokia said, is every month we're going to try to go in and do the smart match and try to get people matched as we get more mentors enrolled. But what's been great about the MentorClick software is, company-wide, we have, close to 1,000 people enrolled in the program. So we're really, leveraging our technical staff and really trying to get people to link up. And if you watch the Sanjay video, he talks about, this is part of the whole 1GF mindset. So this is the email that was sent out to the unmatched mentees, and I'm wondering how many of you are unmatched in the audience here in Singapore? Okay, it's a couple of you, so we will get to you. Thank you for coming today. But the idea is that, every month we're going to look, and as we get more mentors, we'll go in, we'll do a smart match and try to get you matched as well. And then everything that we go over here today will apply once you are matched. So with that,
Level 8 and above to be a mentor.
It's just experience. Yeah. Yeah. Experience levels. So we targeted level 8 and above for mentors. We also targeted levels 4 through 7 for mentees, but then we had quite a few level 8s and 9s email us and said that they also wanted mentors. So we've invited them as well. So there's fewer restrictions on mentees, but mentors, we wanted to have the more experienced levels. Yeah. Okay, so with that, I'm going to hand it back to Rokia to go over some of the logistics.
Okay, back to me. So this is the email that all the mentors and the mentees receive, right? So there are some important instructions down here, meaning now that you know who are your match, okay, who's your partner, what is the next step that you do? Okay, I'm not sure whether you've seen this, but I'm just going to quickly go through. The first thing that you have to do is, now, I believe all of you know the program duration is 1 year. The next step that you have to do is set up the initial meeting within the next month. Now, who's going to set up? Who's going to initiate? Is the mentees, right? Okay, you read the email, very good. Okay, so mentees will be the one who will be initiating the meeting with the mentors, and ideally it has to be within a month. Okay, right. The next thing is that you have to do at the initial meeting itself. You have to agree upon ground rules. So all of you wondering, oh my God, there's another rule again. Okay, so what is this rules about? It's more like an agreement on how many times do you like to meet. Is it going to be every month? Is it going to be 2 months once? Is it something that you don't want to talk about? So that's the ground rules that set up with your mentor and the mentee. Okay, right. There are some of course. And how do you want the meeting to be? Remote meeting, face to face, and then also determine what is the goal of the relationship. Okay, what exactly you would like to achieve, come out from this relationship. There are some interesting tools like what Janet has mentioned. There are very good videos and support tools in the system. Okay, so that's the reason why we invested on the system, because it's a very good learning platform for every one of you to improve on your mentoring skills. You don't need to attend training for this, okay, but it's more like this wonderful videos there. So I'm going to show you in a short while what do you mean by the mentoring partnership agreement, okay, and then what do you do, like for example, connecting with a new mentoring partner, what are the things that you have? It's a video, and then getting started for the mentors. Okay, I'm going to show you in a short while. Yes, we'll send you the slides, everyone, okay, so that yes, I'm going to show you now. So it looks something like that. So this is how you go into the system. Now, can you see the resource library there? Now, in the resource library, you see all the videos and the support documents that you can utilize. Right, so I'm going to show you, of course, there's so many videos. I'm just going to give you a guideline on some of the key videos that probably you have to take note of. There are others. And these videos, how long do you think it takes? One video. Yeah, it's only 2 to 3 minutes. I know all of us are busy, right? It's not going to be an hour like a movie or whatever. No, it's just 2 minutes, right? So what are the things, for example, good for business? What's in it for me? This really shows you what, already tells you why mentoring is important. Now, can you see this document here? This particular document is written as, for those who can't see from far, getting started for the mentees. Okay, and then there's another document, getting started for mentors. So interesting documents down there. Please look at it. Okay, now this is it's a 2-page tip sheet for the mentor. Okay. Now, remember that a mentor, one of the important things you have to do is to create a certain kind of environment where the mentee is comfortable to talk to you. Right? That's really important. So trust plays a very important part. So that's what exactly the document is telling about. Okay, that trust, creating an environment of trust and openness. Now, remember the mentors sometimes get excited and they share a lot of things about themselves, right? But what's really important in the conversation is two-way. That's right, two-way conversation. So for you to facilitate two-way conversation, you need to ask questions more than telling. Okay, so you'll be wondering, okay, what kind of question can I ask you? Now, these are some of the questions that you can actually ask the mentees. Okay, now similar sheet will be given to a mentee. So this is some of the tools that you can see in the system. For a mentee, remember that is his or her responsibility when it comes to development. So therefore, he is responsible for maintaining the relationship. So that's really important. So how do you prepare? How many mentees are there in this room? Put up your hand. How many mentees are there? Okay, great. So when you go and see the mentor, what is the first thing you talk? Just ask you, hello, yes, hi, right? Okay. So you want it to be a productive meeting, right? You want to talk about the right things, not just chit chat or how's your family. No, you can, of course, if you want to, but this is some of the questions that you would like to prepare yourself before you go and see your mentor. Okay, so these are some of the things that you will be seeing in the resource library to help you. You are not alone. You are not like helpless. What should I do next? There are so many things here. Now, this is a first contact, and then you also have the document that I just want to focus on is the mentoring partnership agreement. Now, please do this. Okay, I strongly recommend all of you do this. It's not okay. None of the documents here are mandatory. It's a personal relationship. Okay, you're adults and you know how to just follow with the relationship. So we're not going to track you how many times you met. We're not going to do that. Do you want us to track you? Oh, you want us to track you, is it? No? So we're not going to track you, okay? So it's your responsibility. So this is the mentoring agreement. This is how it looks like. You see, the length of mentoring, start date, end date, mid-cycle check-in. What does that mean? Remember, it's your relationship, your responsibility when it comes to relationship. We are not going to evaluate or find out what are you doing, but it's your responsibility to go into the check-in evaluation to see whether your relationship is going on fine. Okay, so you are responsible. So that is the check-in date. And who will be responsible for the starting meetings and interesting things here? And then, of course, the goals and then what expectation, ground rules, and preference outside meetings. So this is just a partnership agreement that we would like you to do it. Okay. Right. So my next slide is more on. I've already mentioned this to the Singapore team. If you are, I know that some of you, your mentors are in a different region. How do you meet them? I mentioned to you, it's through the Meet. Okay, Google Meet as one of the easy. Yes. Hi. If you find your mentor, I repeat a question, just thought here is that's the question, okay? Now he's asking that what if the mentor-mentee is not the right, is it? Okay, so that means the relationship didn't work out. Okay, of course, drop us an email. Okay, drop us an email to me, and that actually is my next slide. So probably I just show you now. Oh, it's not here yet. Okay, you need to drop the email to me, to Janet, and there's another email address that I'm going to give you. Okay, so we will try to find out. But it's a good question that you ask. Why? Because another way for us to find out whether your relationship is going on, because some of the mentors and mentees may not be too open, right? Right. So that is actually a survey that we sent. I think a survey will be sent after a month of your relationship, which starts, and then regular emails will be sent out on this survey. For the mentor, simple question. I know what's up. I received the training I needed to help me to succeed in the mentoring program. I got everything that I need. You take such good care of me. So this kind of question will be sent to the mentors and the mentees. Very simple evaluation. Yes, Choi.
Do you have any data that's showing how many percent of the mentoring mentee is satisfied?
Yes. Yes, definitely. So his question is, Choi's question is that, what do you do with the data? I think that's what you're trying to ask, right? Now, once we get the data from the mentors and mentees, there'll be a lot of comments, and then we'll try to evaluate, is there any way that we can intervene and then see whether we can resolve it. Janet, you want to say anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, the surveys, with these quick click surveys, we were able to analyze it and then come back with statistics. So that's why it's nice to be able to have it here in the system. With the 2016 program, I think that you asked about, we did do a Google survey. And so the success rate was about 85%. People said, the match was good and things were okay. But we did have some where maybe the matches weren't as good, and, this gives us a better way to track it now in the system and go in and fix when there's a problem.
We'll decide the regularity on that. How? Yeah, it's after. No, it's confidential. Definitely, of course. Of course. Now, her question was, whatever the mentee write down, will the mentor be able to see? Okay. Now, of course, any kind of survey in GF is confidential, definitely. Okay. So take note of that. But of course, if you're not comfortable with this, just drop us an email. That works fine as well. And who would you drop the email to? This is the email address that he asked by the left already. Your site administrator, which is actually the global, your site administrator is myself here. India. For APAC is myself. Okay, for Bangalore is Srini, and then of course for other APACs that will be Megang. Okay, right, and then you can actually CC Janet Tinkler, and then your Global Founders Mentor Click.com. Is that too much? Anyway, I'm going to send you the slides. If there's any issue, you send to the three of them. Right? Okay, good to move on. Right, how do you make, this probably will be my last few slides, okay, around that. So 10 strategies for mentoring success. Spend sufficient time to get to know first. Don't start into the development or you're talking about what you want to achieve, but it's really trying to understand each other. Like what I mentioned, trust really plays a very important part for this relationship to be successful, right? The next thing is that regular basis, a lot of them, if they will set up the meeting. I think that's the best way. Have a calendar meeting. Okay, that will schedule every month that you want to meet at this particular time. Then you can change it. That will remind you. Okay, and then of course, other things, of course, keep focus on achieving goals, not just day-to-day challenges. Don't make it like a complaining session. I'm sorry to say that, but don't make it like a comment where you complain. Every session you complain. Mentor will not be feeling to see you, okay? Now, at the end of the day, what we really want you to do is focus on the goal that you want to achieve. There will be challenges. We're not stopping you from sharing your challenges. That is also development, okay? But just be mindful on not overdoing that. So that's the point that I'm trying to say. Okay, follow through your commitments. I believe you have some commitments, and then be open to other learnings as well. Always reflect. There are documents again, tools and support tools. Be accountable for your growth and learning. Okay, and provide feedback to your mentors and mentees. Mentors provide your feedback and take feedback from the mentees. Similarly, mentees take your feedback and provide feedback as well. Two-way communication. And lastly, come prepared. Well, time commitment is in your hands, right? All right, this probably the second last. How can you engage them? It's not through meeting. Meetings are boring, isn't it? I can't say that. Okay, so how can you make it interesting? So maybe you can do a shadowing. Maybe you can do like like what I mentioned, attend the town hall together. Shadowing meaning, for example, if a mentor is doing a presentation, he can actually invite the mentee if it's okay. That kind of things. And it has happened before and was very well received. Okay, where the mentees see the mentor in action. So that's what I meant. See the mentor in action. Okay, right. There's so many other things again found in the system. So, like what a non-traditional meeting like this can be extremely helpful. So don't be afraid to try something beyond one-to-one meeting. It could be a group meeting. It's up to you. All right. And remember, okay, whether the mentoring relationship is successful or not is in your hands. Okay, so you define it on the relationship. So build a lot of trust, and it can be a wonderful experience, and it can be different strategies that you can use. One size fits all approach doesn't work in a mentor relationship because we have different personalities involved, right? And mostly important is that see this as a career development and group for experience and make most of it. What I'm trying to say is that it's also a development for a mentor on his mentoring skills, definitely. And mentee, yes, of course, you learn from the experience. Okay, and do you have any questions for me and Janet? Yes, Joy.
Is there any way we can choose a mentor or mentee without going through the system?
I'll let Janet answer that.
Well, if you already have a mentor identified and they've agreed, you can just write myself or the Global Foundries at mentorclick.com, and I would match you automatically with that person if they were available. But the mentor would have to agree too.
I don't get it.
I think it's quite.
No, I guess I didn't understand.
Okay, the question was whether they can become a mentor-mentee without going through the system or without using the system.
Without using the system, manually approaching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course you can still do that. But a lot of people like to have it tracked in the system, especially the mentors. If they have multiple people, then they can.
It benefits you because it helps you to be on the feed and have the relationship. It's more like a reminder. If not, you forget. After the one meeting, after 6 months, you say, when did you meet the last? I don't remember. Okay, because this kind of things do happen, and that's the reason why Janet has actually invested on this click system to help you. Okay, to help you, to remind you, and then she'll be sending emails as well and finding out how's things, everything's okay, kind of thing. Yeah. Yes. Say that again, sorry. If you already. All right, so you can actually recommend, if you want that particular mentor to be a match to you, then drop us the email. But the mentor has to be enrolled in the system as well. So we have a certain situation. If you already know the mentor and you can actually ask him whether can you be my mentor, and he's agreeable to him, to that relationship, just drop us an email and we'll guide him and send him the invitation, and he can actually enroll as a mentor, and we'll that's why Janet will say.
Yeah, also, do you actually have a profile in the system as a mentee? If you go up to the search on the left-hand side, you could just write say their last name, and if they're enrolled, it'll come up, and if it doesn't, then you just send an email. Okay, so either they may not be enrolled, but if you have that situation, you just write myself or the global foundries at mentorclick.com. So.
Are you already matched? Okay, so that's the question. Okay, any more questions regarding this program? Any last questions? Yes, Kavita.
I would typically, let's say, a couple of mentors, one for technical career, that sort of.
Okay, so why is it just one mentor? So that one Janet has answered.
So there are some matching rules that just sort of came along from the software, but if you have a case where you want to be matched with additional mentors, again, you just write myself and then global foundries at mentorclick.com, and we would increase your capacity for mentors. Oh, sorry.
Same for 2 mentors, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or 3 or whatever.
I like that. Okay. Okay, good. I mean, those are very good questions. Any last questions before there's some refreshment there at the back? Can a mentor have multiple mentees? Is that we leave it to the mentor to actually highlight how many mentees they can actually take? A maximum of 2. The system, if you have mentioned 1, then it can only match 1. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so mentees, the system allows 1, but mentors set their own relationship capacity, and so they can pick whatever number. Usually they don't go above 2, but it depends on the person. Yeah.
No, it's one mentee itself. It's good enough actually. I mean, if you have 2, that's really good. More than 2, any mentors you want more than 3 mentees? Let us know. You are. It's a bit difficult actually to manage too many mentors. Okay. Remember, you have your own work. Your work is not mentoring. All right. So that's the reason why we want to limit to 1 or 2 based on your preference. Okay. Any last questions? Appreciate the mentors. That's a wonderful idea. I think we should do that. An appreciation for all the mentors. Okay. I think it's a wonderful idea. I think we can do that. Yeah. But remember that it's a 1-year program, but a lot of relationship continued even after 1 year. Okay, continue. It's just that probably you will not be using system or what, I'm not sure. If even after 1 year, can they still use the system or you stop it?
I mean, you can just
Continue. Yes, that's right. I'm saying it's not like 1 year already. Okay, 14 April, stop. No, not like that. Okay, you can still continue. Okay, that's the end. Okay, you want to say any last few words?
no, I think we're okay.
All right.
Refreshments for you guys.
Thank you. Happy mentoring. Okay. Enjoy yourself. Watch the videos. It's a good system.
Yeah.
Okay. So make use of the tools and the videos. Okay. So happily. Yes. Any question? Oh yes, good question. Any questions from Bangalore? Any questions from Bangalore? Kavita, thanks for that. Any questions from Bangalore? How are we supposed to see whether they have any questions?
Message you.
Are
Let
they?
me see if they did.
Oh, there's a lot of messages. Okay, Manvi, you mentioned that there's no question from Bangalore?
No?
Really? Okay. Me? My own voice is being there. Me? No question, but don't worry, you can just drop us an email.
Everybody knows the email address? Global Foundries at MentorClick.
We'll send you the slides as well. Our email address out there. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Okay. So you can have your refreshment, and thank you, Janet, for flying all the way here actually for this. Thank you. Yes. Can we just take a quick snap at the lobby? Is it okay? Okay. Then let's go. Okay. At the lobby, at the security lobby, just quick one.